Today on TimesCast, on Sunday, Greece's New Democracy Party narrowly defeated the upstart Syriza Party, which has called for the abolition of Greece's loan agreement with its foreign creditors.
For many Greeks, yesterday's vote was really a choice between, I guess, hope and fear. Many Greeks feel like this crisis is going to get a lot worse before it gets better.
Είμαι εκπαιδευτικός και με έχει επηρεάσει και οικονομικά, στη δείκνωση του μισθού μου, στη δείκνωση της αγοραστικής αξίας των χρημάτων που παίρνω. Από εκεί και πέρα δεν χρηματοδοτείται όσο θα έπρεπε η παιδεία, άρα μεγάλα προβλήματα στην εκπαίδευση.
Even when New Democracy does form a government, the problems start there. This government will have to do extraordinarily unpopular things. It needs to identify the equivalent of about 5% of Greece's GDP to cut before 2014. The fact that the Syriza party did not place first indicates that it will be a very vocal opposition. It will cause trouble for whatever government wants to do these cuts.
Δημοκρατία σαν πρώτο κόμμα και βέβαια θα πρέπει να συνεργαστεί έτσι με κάποιο άλλο και πρέπει να γίνει άμεσα κυβέρνηση και με εργασία, πιστεύω. Και από την άλλη μεριά.
The government will probably try to negotiate with Greece's foreign creditors for a little bit more leeway, but it's unclear how much room Europe will actually give them. It doesn't want to send a message to Spain, which just needed a bailout for its banks, and even for Italy, a huge country that's too big to bail out and too big to fail. Europe probably doesn't want to concede too much to Greece because it would send a bad message to those other countries.
Χρειάζονται πιο απαλά μέτρα για το λαό. Γιατί έχει πληγεί η μεσαία τάξη, στην οποία ανήκω και εγώ.
For Greece, the problems get worse and worse. It's a middle-class society that is really imploding. The economy has dried up. No one has any credit. It's a country, as one woman put it to me, that is walking towards death.
And in Egypt's Tahrir Square, celebrations began early after weekend voting completed the country's first competitive presidential election since the ouster of Hosni Mubarak.
I am so happy. It's like after we knocked down Mubarak. It's like we took Mubarak off today.
Egyptian news organizations this morning declared Mohammed Morsi of the Muslim Brotherhood the winner of Egypt's first competitive presidential election. We're here in Tahrir Square where people began celebrating as early as 4:30 in the morning. Many of those here are members of the Muslim Brotherhood, the Islamist group that nominated Mr. Morsi. Many others are citizens more happy about the defeat of his opponent, Ahmed Shafiq, Mr. Mubarak's former prime minister.
Actually, I am not a Muslim Brotherhood, but I support him because of the revolution. He is the only nominee of the revolution. No one else. Shafiq is part of the old regime. If we take him back, it will be over for us.
We step down the man of Mubarak. It's called Shafiq. The Muslim Brothers, at this time, we need them. At the first, it will be difficult because the last system will attack them.
Despite Mr. Morsi's repeated pledges about tolerance and inclusivity, however, many here, especially in the secular-minded elite, are very wary of the consequences of a Brotherhood-led government.
I'm Muslim, I respect my religion, but I believe that mingling the religion with politics might be calamitous for our society. Many of the theocratic sects are ignorant about many of the cultural activities, so it's difficult for them to grasp this because they never knew anything about it.
My banner in Tahrir Square, I guess on the 2nd of Feb 2011 was like, this is Egypt, not Iran. Because I was worried, like many other people, during the revolution, that we're going to turn into the Sunni version of Iran maybe in the region. What happened in Iran, I guess it's the same. In 1979 it was a people's revolution, and then Al-Khamenei has returned from exile. I guess it's the same scenario.
It's unclear what's going to happen next. The election unfolded as the generals who have ruled Egypt since Mr. Mubarak's ouster tightened their grip on the institutions of government. On Friday, they dissolved the Islamist-led and democratically elected parliament. Members of the Brotherhood's parliamentary bloc have said tomorrow they will show up for work at Parliament once again. So we're all waiting to see what happens at that confrontation and whether or not the military authorities will recognize Mr. Morsi as Egypt's new president.
News.